Here is Barkley, left side, big hole. Saquon Barkley! Uh-oh! Barkley! Goodbye! Dunk it in. Doncic, 47.
I'll give him a dunk. On a night you have 47 points, you get the benefit of the doubt.
Moss the back, Karras the snap. Moss the block. Burrow going deep. He's got him! Touchdown! Jamar Chase.
LeBron leaked out. They didn't see him. Here he is down court. It's up and in. On the count. LeBron James at the buzzer. 23-yard completion. Here goes Taylor. With Pierce in front. Touchdown, Colts.
Curry gets free. Curry puts up a three.
Bang! Bang! He ties the game with 6.3 remaining.
Mahomes flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner. Fires downfield. Caught! Touchdown!
Timeout, SGA. Probing, piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down with just under a second to go. Oh, hit, throw. Oh, come on! Justin Jefferson, you gotta be kidding. Makes it look so routine. Greatest catch that never existed in NFL history.
Edwards puts up a three. It's good! Anthony Edwards once again. Edwards electricity here in game 4. Here's a first and goal. And he's signaling as he backpedals to the 30. Oh, what a catch! Touchdown, Baltimore!
Is it Francis? Giannis says no. Back the other way, Trent. Giannis inside. At both ends.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Matty Ice here with Profit Props. This is the sharp side. As always, we will recap yesterday first. Nikola Jokic over his points and assists cashed. I want to say he had 43. We played over 39.5. I want to say he finished with 43. Westbrook assists miss. He had 5 at halftime and played 28 minutes. It was a blowout. I regret ever touching that game. Harden under his assist cash. We had under 8.5. He finished with 7. Derek White. 2 for 9. 2 for 9. Volume was there. I live with the read, but 2 for 9 is crazy. Kevin Porter Jr. threes ladder missed. Only took 3 and ended up with a triple-double. I mean, I wrong read there. What pisses me off is I really looked at points and assists. And it soared. He only had 18 points, but he had 13 assists. His PA line was like 24.5, 25.5. So just was on the wrong side of that. I'm upset about that miss. That one's on me. And then Bijan over his receiving yards cashed. No sweat. Finished with 82. I do have a couple plays out already. So allow me to pull everything up here. If you're watching on X, drop a like, drop a retweet. Appreciate y'all. Combat Vet, appreciate you for tapping in. Ross, I appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate all the likes and the retweets. Juan, I appreciate you. And MB, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Money Badge, appreciate y'all for tapping in. All right, let's get into today's slate. First game on the board is Cleveland versus Washington. I'm not touching this. I've lost too much money in blowouts. So, I mean, we can talk about it, like maybe some people who are blowout proof or like unders we would play regardless of a blowout. If it were anyone else, I'd probably be interested in a Garland under. I'll pull up my numbers. Yeah, I mean, I lean under. I'm at 15.6. We can play. Looks like there's a couple 17.5s in the market. DraftKings. FanDuel super juice to the over on the 16.5. I'm going to go shop around a little bit. I just hate to play an under versus Washington because I know I'm going to be in a situation late game where I'm praying for a blowout, and I hate betting something where I know I'm praying for a blowout. I would absolutely be more interested in his points, but he had 20 versus them in how many minutes? In 28 minutes already this season. I lean under, but let's just keep this as a lean. Under Mitchell points and rebounds. Let's go talk about it. Tristan Vukcevic, I believe I'm saying that right, has saw increased minutes lately, but nothing official on him. I was in a Spaces earlier, and some people are interested in some Lonzo Ball stuff. His 4.5 rebounds look pretty good. What were his minutes in the last game? Because I do think he didn't play. I have to go here. Feel like I'm gonna lean over though. Lonzo Ball. Let's go to the Cleveland game. Lonzo Ball rebounds 6.97. Lean under his points. I'm literally at about 3.5. Rebounds though. I do like Lonzo Ball boards. $22 minutes in that game. This is 11-12. 19.5. I don't like the 19.5. These other ones though, like December 5th, 22.5 minutes. Minutes are my concern here, but if we're over about 22, I like it. What do I make it? I should have looked at that already. 22.3. That's hilarious. That's like right where I want to be. Interesting spot here on Lonzo Ball. Lonzo. I'm going to leave it as a lean over now. We're going to try to get through the slate and then come back at the end like we've been doing. Yeah, definitely leaning over the Lonzo Ball over 4.5 rebounds. We move CJ McCollum. He's been so like awful or incredible. I thought he did really well in the last matchup. He had 6 threes, 25 points. I make his number 23.65. So I'm way over this number. I just can't trust CJ, bro. He's exactly like Derek White, who I bet on yesterday and who we talked about yesterday, always seems to shoot like shit when I bet on him. 2 for 9 yesterday. I lean over CJ's points. I can't pull it. Like I basically after the Denver game last night, I vowed not to play anything like 11 anymore. Just too blowout likely. No way I'm touching Donnie at 30. He had 24 in the last matchup in 25 minutes. There's no way I'm touching Mitchell over 30.5 tonight. I think you'd be better off taking his threes and hoping he makes like 4 or 5 in the first half. I really do. Better off taking Donovan Mitchell's threes than points. Yeah, I don't want to touch this game. Let's not spend a lot of time on it. Move on to Atlanta, Detroit. I've got bets. I've got thoughts. Jalen Johnson, I ran 25, 10, and 10 for 0.1 unit. And then I ran 25, 8, and 8 for a quarter unit. Yeah. So 2 little parlays there. Not necessarily straights, but I do like his straight over 42.5 as well. Over in 7 of his last 10. He had 49 in the matchup 11 days ago, 42 in the prior one this season. I do believe Trey missed that one as well. Let me just confirm. Yeah, Trey did miss that one as well. We're also no Porzingis. If we look season long, no Porzingis, no Trey. 75% hit rate, averaging 51.5. We can play an over. I thought there were 42.5 this morning. Looks like they've all moved up to 43.5. Interesting. I should have ran the straight already as well, and I did not. That sucks. Okay, let's see here. Jalen Johnson, are we going over? We might be. I ran the parlay already. I might run the PRA over. You know what? I would love this in LA. I would love the 40-plus PRA in LA. I literally have on my notes wrote down Jalen Johnson over everything. I like his threes as well, but the price is nasty. 3 and 4 in the 2 prior matchups. Let's see the best price. Damn, that's what I ran Duncan Robinson at this morning, -120 at Profit X. One second. I'm going to shop around on this Jalen Johnson threes. Going to do a little bit of shopping on this Jalen Johnson threes number. There's an 04 at Novig. So the market is very wide on this. You've got -04s on the over. You've got +117 on the under. There's a negative theoretical hold on this right now. I think the over is the right side. I make that number 2.14. Yeah, so I can only imagine the edge at a -05. It's going to be astronomical. I don't have exchanges in my model, so I don't have the exact number, which makes me realize I just got to add in there to where I can adjust the juice. I like Jalen Johnson's threes. I think if we wait, we get a more universal number. You see the 120 available at exchanges, but the best book price is 133. I don't want to release it versus that price. If this gets better, I run it. I've already ran the 8 and 8 parlay and the triple double parlay, so I'll stay with that for now. But definitely leaning over threes. I really don't believe it becomes a better number. I think it stays around where it's at. But if for any reason the books move to -120, I'd be comfortable releasing this versus that price. Porzingis, he's out. This one, I don't know if I'm making this official, but you see this volume in the last 2? Turner 3, who can stretch the floor a little bit. Okongwu 2 in the matchup earlier. This was also no Porzingis, I'm pretty sure. Wendell 2, Huff 3, Okongwu 4. I like Okongwu's threes today. Again, the price is premium, but I think you could even go up. I think you could go up to over 2.5, super plus money. You know, if you wanted to run this as a quarter unit play by itself, or if you have another threes look that you really like his fewest attempts versus him this season is 7. And it kind of makes sense if he's going up versus Durant. And if he went 2 for 9 last game, do they really change the way that they have defended him? He went 2 for 9. I mean, I'm living with 2 for 9. Over in 8 of his last 12 games going between this year and last year. with that type of volume on the plus 195. That's not his minus 200. That number's 78%. We're talking about 67 over his last 12. So I like a Kongwu bought up a little bit. I think it's a good pair. Like if you have a really good lean on someone else's threes, I think his 3+ is worth like a sprinkle. Cade Cunningham, let's go shop his assists. I showed an edge to this morning. I'm at 9.55. There were 8.5 this morning. Let's go see if that's still the case. A 140 at DK. Everyone's really 9.5 plus money. Now, the Score, which was ESPN, which was Barstool, which was the Score, before all of that, they are the only 8.5, 130. So I do lean over Cade's assists. I think double-double's got a shot as well. Durant points over or maybe 20 plus. So I will say Durant has dominated them in the 2 matchups this year, 24-21. I want to say those were both Porzingis-less. They were both Porzingis-less. Let's go see what they are versus Rollman. '26th. So I really don't know. In my heart, I feel like this should go over. It should soar over. There should be no issues. Models leaning under. I think a lot of that's due to recent struggles. Struggled versus Miles Turner. This could have been Klingon, but if not, maybe Robert Williams, Miles Turner again. Wendell Carter, I'm not saying he's a great defender, by any means. He's not even a really good defender. Queta. I guess this probably was Jay Huff. Like, recent struggles worry me with Jalen Duran. And the minutes are still there. It's not like, oh, he's been in foul trouble. No, it's like not played well. It's not even that he's not played well. It's just not a lot of volume. What's his rebounds at? 11.5. What am I at? 11.11. Yeah, I've got nothing on Jalen Duran either. Rebounds, I should say. Points, my motto would lean under, but I'm going to stay away because he has dominated the matchup, and they are 26th versus Rollman. But, yeah, just no opinions on Jalen Duran. No plays. Vit, the Atlanta rotation is a little puzzling. Like, I think Richeche should play more minutes than he does. Like, I have a hard time, like, honestly, Vit's threes, maybe. Only played 17 minutes in that last one. Still had 4 3-point attempts in those 17 minutes. Force me to make a bet on Vit. It's the threes. Force me to make a bet. It's the threes, but we're chilling. Tobias Harris, model like the assists over, but they're like very hit or miss recently. I think I'm at about 3. Oh no, I'm at 2.5, but you can play a plus money. So I'm really right with market. It's just I think the juice is off a little bit. I'm chilling off the Tobias Harris assist look. Azor Thompson, again, I looked at the assists. He had 8 here. He's also been very up or down. I don't know if with Ivy looks a lot worse. I lean over Azor Thompson's assist, but nothing official. Did I look at Cade's over RAs? I just like his assists over. The 9.5 plus money. I think there's some value in the double-double, but I don't like his rebounds. Just like his assists. Duncan Robinson. Okay, I ran Duncan over 2.5. We can go ahead and get this in the banner now. First official straight bet. Over 2.5 3-point. Duncan Robinson over 2.5 3-pointers made, minus 120 profit X. I'm going to go shop around, see what the best price is. 125 at Fanatics, 130 at ESPN, 113 at Novig, 120 at MGM. So there's very many options that you can be around minus 130 or better, like this up to 1 unit. Not really a guy that I attack in the ladder spot, though. He seems to get his 3, quite regularly. 4, 5, 6, it's a special occasion for him to climb the ladder here. So only going to run the Duncan over 2.5. Find really good value at minus 120. If you're on Novig, you can get minus 113. Outside of that, no opinions on Duncan Robinson. I did run Nickeil Alexander Walker over 19.5 points. My apologies. A lot of 20.5 available, minus 125, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5. That one's a super juicy 19.5. I like the 20.5, 20 plus up to like minus 135. 20.5 I would like up to about minus 110. Looking at the 19.5 number, and then we go no Trey, no Porzingis. This season, 78% hit rate, over in 7 and 9. This game played sub 30 minutes. I do think this one stays more competitive than the other two. Also liked his 3-pointers made. 2.5 is kind of a crazy price, but I liked him even up to 3 plus. 4 plus. We got plus 150, plus 160 available. I like the points better, but if you wanted to get your juices flowing with a threes ladder, I do think Nah hits 4 or 5 3-pointers tonight. 20 plus points. I make him 23. Let me give you an exact number. I'm sorry, 24.17 is my projection. So it's very solid edge to the over. Jaren Jackson under PRs. I'll definitely look at it because that's something I've bet before and definitely like to bet. So let me add Null to the banner. Nickeil. All right, we grabbed Null's over. That's really going to do it for me in this game. Just the 2 plays, right? I do like, the Okongwu threes ladder is a lean. Maybe I do, maybe I don't run it. I ran Duncan. I ran Nickeil Alexander Walker. Yeah, that's it. We move. Indy versus Philly. Maxey has been downgraded. And I think Embiid is expected to play. So Maxey still could play. I've been downgraded to questionable, I believe, with an illness. Embiid, I think we're getting this elevated line because of that. If we get more usage out of Embiid, does it mean we get more minutes? I don't know the answer to that. I don't. 30 in the last game, which led to just 17 for Drummond, who still had 11 points and 12 rebounds. Just nonsense. See, this game's hard for me to approach until I know more about Maxey now and Embiid. I don't think we're helping ourselves trying to get out in front of injury news here. I think I'd be more confident in my edge in this game specifically, waiting to see who plays and then trying to bet the market as it opens. Because when the books close down, I don't think a lot of people realize this. When the books close completely after major injury news, right after they reopen, for a brief while, they might not be as soft as they were when they first hung the line in the morning, but they're soft. They're softer than they're going to be. If you pay attention, you'll see. Let me just throw out an example. This is just an example. Joel Embiid's points are 22.5 right now. I think no Maxey's baked into that. Maxey's announced he goes to like 21.5. But there'll be books that reopen at 22.5 and say, hey, let's figure this thing out. You can go run those unders and get 2 points right off of injury news. So I think that's the way I will attack the Philadelphia side of this game. On the Pacers side, I will say something did stick out to me this morning. Something stuck out to me, not as points, but as threes. 2.5, we're getting plus money. Let's look at games with 30 minutes this season. Which, let me say this, Rick Carlisle and JJ Redick are very similar in the sense that sometimes, first, I think they're both incredibly intelligent coaches, great coaches, very smart at basketball, smarter at coaching than me. Like, I don't want to get up here and pretend that I'm smarter than either of those two coaches. They're great coaches. They both do things at times that make no sense to me, drive me wild, and it could be off the court stuff, practice. I don't know what the scenario might be. So, I don't get to see everything else. Benedict Matherin's minutes and usage this season, last season, the season before make no sense to me. I think he should play 32 minutes, which my model has him at 1 second. I think I'm like 32 and a half. Benedict Mathurin. I'm at 32.65. If he plays that, I love the value here. I am so in love with the value here. If he plays 30 plus, love it. I love it. I love it. If he doesn't, if Rick Carlisle pulls some Rick Carlisle shit, runs my man 28 minutes in a competitive game, I'm going to be pissed. I love the 1.5 as a lay piece. I love the 1.5 as a lay piece. You see this, though, 21 minutes. It's probably a blowout, but why is he playing 21 minutes? He better have been in foul trouble. No. I mean, unless he had 3 in the first half and none in the second. Turk, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. Let me get them all out. Turk, appreciate you tapping in. Hey, man, drop a like, drop a retweet. Help me grow the brand. Help me grow the page. We're definitely late today. What day of the week is it? Friday. I'm trying to pay attention to that, too. Like, I noticed Tuesdays engagements are really low. Friday, it kind of makes sense. People are getting ready for the weekend and shit. So, honestly, I might move hours around based on the engagement. Like, if engagement's always shitty Friday at noon, we might go Friday 1, Friday 2, Friday 4 after people get off work. So, I just got to pay attention to that. Shout outs to the ones that are in here. I want to run Matherin's threes. I don't know if we're getting the best price in the market, if it gets better, if it gets worse. What's the spread right now sitting with a questionable Maxey? Philly's a 7-point favorite. I don't think they should be 7-point favorites. I do not think they should be 7-point favorites. You know what you could do? Matherin 3, Okongwu. Matherin 3, Okongwu 3+3s could be a good little late piece. I'm going to stay off of anything Matherin straight right now. Like his points in threes straight, though. His threes at plus money. I like his points in threes. What's a 20 plus? I wouldn't lay that. I would not lay the 150. I'd rather go with the straight 20.5. If you can move like off of a 20 plus for like 10 cents, I do it. A lot of people will say it's only worth 5. I think it's a lot more player to player than that. It's really hard to just generalize that, in my opinion. What's their median, So it's really hard to generalize that. But just saying like person to person for 10 cents, I'd probably do it for 40 cents. You're out of your mind. And if that doesn't make sense, 20.5 is available for -110. 20 plus is -149. You're paying 60 cents there, if that makes sense. So not worth it there. Definitely not worth it there. I'd rather just run the 20.5. All right, moving on. Tyrese Maxey, he's questionable. We're getting kind of like, I don't know. We're getting a good number. Season average is 31.5. It hasn't, it moves more based on if they win or lose by 10 points than if Embiid plays or not. This is with Embiid average this season, 34. It's up. I don't think Indy defends his play type well. Are there any games with Indy this season and Embiid? No, head-to-head. None this season, at least that he's played in. All right, good deal. I mean, they are good from above the break. I'll give them that. If they have anything going for them, they're good from above the break. Does that matter to Maxey? No, he's a three-way scorer, dog. Like, he can get middies, lane, free throws, threes, doesn't matter. My model would lean under, and I think a lot of that is just tied into this 12-point game. Like, he has had some games where he struggled recently. I would probably stay off of Maxey in all regards today. You know, a little bit of an illness question mark. They are really good from above the break. So I wouldn't want to be on the over or the under for Maxey today. I would want to stay off. Again, I think, as I said, on the Philadelphia side of the ball, I really want to see who is and isn't playing. Let's talk about my numbers on Pascal. I lean over here. He did just come off of a 36-point game from Chicago. Otherwise, straddling this 23-24 number pretty aggressively. Definitely a lot of 23.5s in the market. Let's go look in 30-plus minutes this season, 31 minutes, 72% hit rate. You know, if you can get down to 22, 21 plus, or 22, 23 plus, I mean, your hit rate looks pretty incredible. I think this game stays competitive. If you're looking for a 20-plus lay, I think Pascal might be your guy today. Let's go talk about rebounds and assists because I lean over his points, but I'm not as confident as maybe I should be. Lean over rebounds, under assists. Let's talk about that. Get a little bit of this coffee. Okay, so he has rebounded the ball pretty well. Got Philadelphia 22nd in rebounds allowed, 21st in assists allowed. Actually lean under here. Lean over with the rebounds. I guess I do lean over PRs. Not enough, though. Pascal, if you told me I had to make a bet on Pascal today, I would go PRs over. If you said, Matt, you have to bet on Pascal, I'd go PRs over. I don't have to bet on Pascal, though. So we're going to stay off of it and just move. Let's look at Paul George minutes lately. So this is what I'm liking. 30, 32. Now we're getting 4 days rest. I'm leaning over RAs. Let's go to the model. That's Embiid. Paul George. We also could get no Maxey today. Yeah, as I expected, pretty strong on the assists, pretty strong on the rebounds. Am I betting on Paul George PRAs in 2025, man? I don't know if I can bring myself to it. Let's go with Embiid, with Maxey. Over his RAs in both. Indy is running people off the line. I don't like the threes. My model would tell you to bet Paul George over his RAs. I do lean over Paul George rebounds and assists. My model does lean over the points as well. Yeah, I just can't bring myself to bet the 15.5. I do think the minutes should be there, though. Let's try to work backwards from minutes in volume. It's such a small sample, and look at the just contrasting differences here. I'd much rather see 13 and 13, or 12 and 12, 12 and 13 versus 17 and 8. You could argue the potentials look consistent, and assists. No, we've got such a small volume. I'm beating a dead horse here. Let me see who's actually playing before I attack the Philly side of the ball. We did have a Nemhard request. What was the Nemhard request? Over 6.5 assists, 7, 7, and 12 in his last 3. To be completely honest, in my opinion, it's a little too low. It's a little too low, but what are they in assist allowed? 21st. You almost have to. King Cabano, appreciate you tapping in. Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate all y'all for tapping in. Ross, I have not gotten to the Memphis game. So if you tapping in and out, I haven't got there yet. I will get to it. I like the Nemhardses. I like the Nemhardses. Let's look through points and rebounds and everything and make sure. Because they do struggle versus pick and roll ball handlers. Definitely. Yeah, that line's a little too high. The books know what they're doing. It's what none of us want to hear, but I think it's efficient. Hear me out. If it's 14 and a half, it's a shove to the over, right? You bet it, you forget it. Like a 15 plus, it's 140. If this existed at up to 125, it's a shove, you bet it and forget it, right? I think we can agree on that. If it's under 18 and a half, I think we can agree. We shove it. We bet it. We forget it. We're good. 16 and a half, I think, is the fair number. And then, conversely to that, to the assists, I think we all can agree. 5.5 over anything reasonable is a shove, even at 140, right? No questions asked. I think if I give you under 7.5, you're shoving. Like, I think this is just a very efficient number on the 6.5 juice to the over. My model leans over. I got to give you that. I do lean over. But I will say, and we're in an interesting point in the season right now where I feel like on a season-long basis, the way that I do my play, the way I do my projections, it's set up well to succeed. But in a moment like this, it kind of makes me realize the weaknesses in it. And I think the weakness in it right now for me is if a player has performed extremely well in what could be perceived as the short term, but when the short term is 2 games in 2 weeks, because of how the cup is set up, or 3 games in 2 weeks, it's made me realize I'm putting too much weight into that recency when the recency is spread out, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, my apologies, but it's made me realize there is a weakness there. And I've always known it come playoff time, and I adjust when it comes to the playoffs. I take a lot more. It's completely different when you approach the playoffs. And this, interestingly, we get regular season intensity on a day like today, presumably, maybe a little bit more because they're rested, but the data is different. Like the amount of games played in the last 30 days, 14 days is going to be different than the last 30 days in June, unless you're dealing with an injury, which I have that built in. But I'm just in a weird spot right now. So thank you for listening to my TED Talk here. But yeah, I just noticed that weakness in the short term, and I'm going to try to address it today, but I don't want to over fix it and then a week from now want to revert back. So yeah, kind of a weird spot we're in my modeling in the current landscape. Last thoughts I have, first of all, Quentin Grimes over everything if no Maxey. Over everything if no Maxey. I don't care about Jared McCain. Quentin Grimes over everything, no Maxey. Also, like VJ Edgecombe RAs over here. Even at 8.5, 7.5, you're stealing money. 8.5, this is wrong. Yeah, no, there's plenty of 8.5s. Yeah, plenty of 8.5s. I think they've got this backwards. I think this should be 7.5. This should be 8.5. And the 7.5 at minus 200, not really interested. I'd rather go the 8.5 there. So you said we had some requests on Jay Huff. Actually, Jay Huff threes make a lot of sense to me. And that's why we're paying the price we're paying. You look at the last 10 and you're like, why the hell would this be minus 162? Well, Philly can't. Oh. MGM's 135, Profit X is 130. I'm going to just, wander over here and see what the liquidity is. Made threes, J Huff, $5. Okay. Wise guy. MGM just moved. Shout out to MGM for tapping in. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Drop a like and a retweet, MGM. I know y'all listening to us. M Knight, appreciate you tapping in. Storch on the Twitter. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the likes and the retweets, man. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. And then Turk and Ross, appreciate y'all as well. Look, man, I like J Huff threes over. Price is kind of crazy, but I'm telling you, he's hitting 3 tonight, dog. He's attempting 5. He's attempting at least 5. He might make 3 of them. He might make 4 of them. He might attempt 10. Let's look at other shooting bigs versus. I mean, he's going to be up either Drummond or Embiid. And Drummond's still a good interior defender. But, yeah, I mean, look, Green, 60. Last 5. Still decently green. Green. Whole lot of green. Whole lot of green. Okongwu, I don't know what you were doing, though. And I don't know much about this Tristan Vukcevic. I gotta get up. I gotta catch up to him. I gotta catch up with what's going on in his life because I don't know much about him. You asked about J Huff PRs. J. Where the fuck is J? I like his minutes tonight, right? Is Isaiah Jackson out or Quint? Yeah, no, Isaiah Jackson, right? No, he's playing. Why did I think Isaiah Jackson was out? I think it's because it's Quentin Jackson, and that's on me. That's on me. I think I got Quentin Jackson, Isaiah Jackson confused. Okay, that's on me. Same last name. 16 minutes. Huff played. $31 minutes. I like J Huff. $20 bonus bet. Depends on how you want to approach it. If you want to go straight, if you want to go lay. There's a couple different ways you can do it. Depends on what your bankroll situation is. I will probably, you might be able to just lay those 2 I have right now. Or, if you wanted to go long shot with it, Jalen Johnson triple-double. I mean, I don't know. I guess that might not be a long shot to some people. I got to reconsider what a long shot is. But I think, plus 400 is a long shot. So if you wanted to go long shot, I'd probably do that. If you wanted to go safe, I'd probably go 20 plus. If you wanted to go in the middle, maybe you try to lay the card with like your 2 favorite. Trying to rob FanDuel. What's good, bro? Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate the like. Appreciate the retweet. Appreciate y'all for real. What do we got? 2 plays here. J Huff. I like J Huff stuff overs, but I would rather go 3s, and the price is a little too high for me. But I'm not mad at the 10 plus points. Like, they're not going to stretch. I'm not mad at the 10 plus points. I would love to see him play more minutes. I think I've spoke on this just a couple days ago. When I first started like releasing plays on Twitter, one of my first ladder cashes, maybe my first ladder cash ever, at least, put on the timeline, might have been Garrison Matthews when he played for the Rockets. He will chuck 6 3-point attempts in 17 minutes. I mean, that's literally exactly what I want to see today. I don't know, y'all. I kind of lean over Garrison Matthews points and threes. That might be nostalgia. That might not be. So appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. Make sure y'all are tapped in with calling the shots. I'm on there just about every morning giving out my looks. Gave out the Jalen Johnson joint on there. Gave out Nikhil on there. Mentioned Duncan. I think someone else gave it out, and I said I was on it. Talked about the Matherin three. Still haven't ran it yet. And then one thing I haven't got to yet on here, but we're going to be on Steph Curry overs tonight. So just book it. All right. Moving on from Garrison Matthews, though, let's get into the next game. Let's go Chicago versus Charlotte. Just go through the model real quick. We do have no LaMelo. What else is going on in this game? All right. This game is ugly. Everybody's out or questionable. Vooch had 5 3-point attempts in the last matchup, so the volume was there. He just couldn't hit. Pardon me. 120 is available out there. Vooch, let's go. If no Kobe White, I make it 187. Oh, of course, he's got special characters, so I gotta fix it. If no Kobe White, I absolutely love this over. I did see Kobe's probable, though, so let's approach it as Kobe's playing. I did see Kobe was probable. If you guys see anything updated, let me know. I did talk about Nembhard's assists. So my model projections, John, are actually about 8.6. So I definitely lean over, but you missed me giving a whole spiel about how this little short section of the NBA has made me realize there's a flaw in my model in the sense that just because the way the schedule's worked out right now, I'm leaning into recency bias a little bit, and that's what I'm seeing with Nembhard and that over. Would lean over if I had to bet it, but I talked about it. I would bet an under 7.5 and an over 5.5. So I think 6.5 is probably just efficient and it's juiced to the over. Would not talk you off of it. My model projections are 8.6, but just not enough conviction in my heart to run it. So those are my thoughts. I did run a DGen lay today. 8-8-8-8-8-8. Cade Cunningham, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Jalen Johnson, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Josh Giddey, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Each of them to record 8 rebounds and assists was plus 1,400 at FanDuel. DGen slip. I had a $10 max bet boost. That's literally all it was. 1,400 pre-boost. I think 1,600 after. DraftKings had it at 1,100, but DraftKings had a better boost. They had a 30% boost, but I actually used my 30% boost on the Jalen Johnson 25, 10, and 10. I might have that backwards. It might have been DK. I'll post it on the timeline. That's what I'll do. After the stream, I'll post it on the timeline. If you're in the Discord, I've got it posted in there. Zach Collins. So this game, okay, we've got most of these people I saw are probable, so we can approach with that. I like Giddey triple-double, just as I do like Jalen Johnson triple-double. Miles Bridges has played pretty well without LaMelo. You see his RAs jump. Now we're also down Sexton. Number does feel a little inflated, right? We got Trey Mann out. His usage was 29% in that game. Averages 27 without LaMelo. I think we see Miles Bridges in the 30 realm in usage percentage today. What do I think we see in field goal attempts? Off the top of my head, I'm going to be in the realm of 18 to 22. Looks like that's a pretty looks like I know what I'm doing here. 18.4 is the average. 21 is the high. I think this line at 22.5 is just efficient. I wouldn't want to run the under, wouldn't want to run the over. And the assists, while I lean under, what are they in assists allowed per game? The Bulls, 23rd. No, I can't bring myself to run the under here either. I do lean under the assists. But again, no LaMelo. So it's hard for me to run anything under here. So Brandon Miller had 5 threes in the last matchup versus Chicago. He had 11 3-point attempts. He's averaging 8 3-point attempts over his last 10 games. We're getting a crazy line at 3.5, right? Like it's a pretty high line, but based off what he's done last 20, it's not crazy, especially when he takes 6 or more 3-point attempts, which I think is right around where he should be, all things considering this game stays competitive. Rico, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the like and the retweet. I do like Miles Bridges' first quarter points at 5+. Absolutely like 5+. Biz, appreciate you tapping in as well. Appreciate the likes and the retweets as well. I like Brandon Miller's threes. I like him for 20+. I don't know if I want to take him at 21. I'm definitely not on his assist. Brandon Miller threes, I like the 3.5+ money. That's probably the closest I get. The volume's going to be there. I know some books have – listen to me right now. Please listen here. First of all, these books aren't sharp, but if you think we're shooting 10 threes tonight, we got to ladder this. We got to ladder this if the books really think he's shooting 10 threes, bro. I'm trying to see 5, 6, 7. I had him closer to 8. They got him at 10. That changes. Again, it's what is it? Prize Picks and Underdog. They don't know what they're doing, you know. So I'll give you that. But I think 365 has this line as well, bro. You gotta run that. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up my Charlotte stats on the back end here so I can see my attempts. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm at 8.07, a lot different than 10. Jose, appreciate you tapping in, bro. I love that. Take a little shot with it. I like it. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. Man, you know what? Brandon Miller, if he's shooting 10 threes tonight, bro, I like him to hit 4 versus Chicago. He had 5 in that last game. What were his attempts? We can look from here. 11. Man, maybe he does shoot 10, bro. If he shoots 10, you got to nuke this over. What do the books have? I know, again, soft, but what is the field goal attempts line? 18.5. That makes sense to me. No LaMelo. I just think we got to be on this. At the end of the day, I think maybe. Or threes lay. We talked about a threes lay. Man, Mathurin and Brandon Ingram. Little quarter unit. That's what I'm thinking right now. Mathurin and Ingram. All right, Brandon Miller, we looked at. Colin Kneppel, man, it's been so hit and miss for me with this dude, bro. Like, I know the numbers are good without LaMelo, but first of all, 3.5, they OD for that line. I'm cool, bro. Model says run that. Oh, no, Model's cool. Slight under. That makes me feel a lot better. No, I'm cool off Colin Kneppel, bro. I just been on the wrong side a couple times, and I don't bet rookies. So the fact to me to say that is just stupid. Rookies are so inconsistent. That's just the name of the game for real. Kobe White, probable. He's from Charlotte area. Yeah, he cooks in Charlotte. $25 earlier this season. Let me go look at some shit here. Kobe White. Transition. He's played 7 games this season. So he's good to play 30 in a competitive game. This is back at his hometown. I think I got to run at least the points over for Kobe. Doesn't look like I'm interested in assists. I put Kobe's minutes at 28, and I'm going to bump that up considerably. Field goal attempts, I'm going to give that an adjustment as well. Let's go. I just want to look, this season with 27 or more minutes, the average is 17. Kobe White, let's go here. Let's go here. Yeah, but it's only available on Sliv. I hate when we get good lines that are only available on soft-ass books. I actually like the thought of Canepo assist tonight with no point guards in the lineup. Rookie, banned. Sorry. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I like Kobe White points over a lot. If he's healthy, like the last game, like these will look bad, but they lost by 30, lost by 15, so his minutes are subpar. I think we see 28, 29, 30 from him tonight. He's already ran 30 this year when they've been able to stay competitive. You know what I mean? 35 versus the Pelicans. So, yeah, it's not that I think he'll be on any kind of restriction or anything. He's full go. I know he's probable, but what was it? Left leg calf soreness. I don't know. They've been weird about calves this year, which they should be. There's been a lot of Achilles shits. He's probable, though. That's where he's from. Like, I really like Kobe White over his points. What do his threes look like versus them down there? Points look better. Three volume has been good, though. But, yeah, I like Kobe White over his 22.5 points. Like I said, he's from the area. That would be my favorite thing on the Chicago side of the ball. Let's move to Utah, Memphis. We did have a request on Jaren Jackson Jr. under PRs, but it's Utah. I didn't realize he was playing Utah. Ja Morant could be back, which definitely could take some volume away. And I do think Ja Morant will be back. Go to Memphis. Okay, yeah, I'm at 17.5, and I'm at about 4.5. So, yes, I would say yes. Looks like all these 25.5s are gone. So they're mostly just soft outs, but 24.5. Still intriguing. I do like this. Utah is just so bad versus bigs, though. Let's go look at some historicals. All right, last 10, 44% under. Chet Holmgren, 34. Towns, 27, which was way under, but way over this. Sengun, way over. Sengun over again. Steven Adams, way over. I don't know. If I would have got the 25.5 this morning, John, I probably would have ran it. I mean, it still looks good, but Utah is just like who will be his starting op? Like who will he defend? Who will be defending him? I guess if he's starting at the 4, he will draw Laurie. How long is Zach Edey out? Through the new year, okay. Projecting around the new year, okay. I don't know, bro. This one's really hard. I do definitely lean under Jaren Jackson Jr., though. What's the spread in this game? And we've also got underdog news, possibly. Random Life, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Appreciate the like. D'Lo downgraded. Diabate upgraded, and then John Moran is probable. That's probably why this line dropped. Damn, okay. I mean, 31 versus Cleveland in his last game with Ja. I lean under, but staying off. Since it's Jock Landale and not Zach Edey, I'm going to stay off of Nurk. But initial thoughts would be lean under. Keontae George really struggled in the last two. Houston, that game. Thank goodness we didn't play that over 19.5. I remember that. Morant under points. What's his line? The funny thing is, let's go Cash Mobile, but he definitely is not getting as many buckets underneath the rim as his younger years, which is where Utah is like incredibly bad. Ja Morant points 44% in the paint, but only 24% under the rim. They're first under the rim, but 29th in the paint. So it's really, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Ja. I think, probably on a minutes limit. Plus, that coach does weird ass shit with the rotations. Ja Morant's unders are interesting. And Utah is very weird because, like I just said, they're first underneath the basket, 29th in the paint. Like, what the fuck? Ja Morant scoring 44% in the paint. Like, I don't know, bro. Peyton and Messi came through. Good looks. I remember talking about Peyton yesterday. What was the Messi look? Was it rebounds? I do remember talking about Peyton. Yeah, I lean under Ja Morant's points as well. Keontae at 21.09, so I lean over threes, over assists, over for PAs on George, but it's not like a large edge. It's just a slight edge. Blocks, that's right, blocks. I got you. It was Ross who asked about Jaren Jackson. Okay, my bad. Yeah, Ross, lean under for sure, bro. Lean under the PRs for sure. The Utah is what keeps me off, but I lean under those PRs for sure. Keontae, I lean over, but I'm basically with market, so there's not enough there for me to go off of. Let's talk about Laurie. Got him projected at 34 minutes. 26 points. Points, PRs for Laurie is definitely a look. Grizzlies are 7-point favorites. Damn. Nothing official on Laurie, but I do lean over here as well. Not an official bet, but I do lean over Laurie Markkinen's points and PRs. Lean over points and PRs. John Morant, probable. Cedric's points feel a little high. Yeah, Cedric Howard's points feel just a little high. Might go PR unders here. Damn, he's been boarding. Oh, that was with Morant. What about recently? 14 a couple games ago. All right, so let's go 24. Let's go 22 on the. Oh, that's everything. Yeah, okay, let's go 24. Good job. I think I got to run this. PR under. It's 22.5 everywhere besides DraftKings. Everywhere but DraftKings, 22.5. I don't know that I actually like looking at this, his rebound chances. This was so long ago, though. Like, I don't know. I think the PRs are the right look on the under. I wrote it down. We're going to come back to this at the end of stream. Maybe it's moved, maybe it's not. Maybe I'll have a better understanding of how I feel about it. But we're going to move on from Cedric Howard. We're going to move on from this game, moving on to Brooklyn versus Dallas, and then Minnesota versus Golden State, which I know I will have a play in. Haven't bet it yet because I didn't get it in before stream, but I'll be on it. Anthony Davis, good. Gafford, game time decision. Lively now out for the season. Keep in mind, completely different role in Denver. Who will be his matchup? Najee could be. I would say Cooper Flag could guard him, but I don't know if you want Najee on Terrence Mann. Not that Terrence Mann's good, just a little quicker. I'm probably running Michael Porter Jr.'s overs though. Like projection 30 points. Like what are we talking about? Over his rebounds as well. Now with AD in there, obviously a lot more rebounds are going to get ate up. They're 28th in total rebounds allowed this season, but you can do some things. Go look with AD on the floor. I'm sure it's not as bad. I'm sure it's not as bad. Possibly Gafford. I lean over rebounds. I like points more. I think I run points. Let's go shop. I would encourage you to keep your eyes on the timeline for a Michael Porter Jr. write-up. I think that line's going to 23.5. Truly believe that line's going to 23.5, and I will bet it when it does. Dallas is an 8-point favorite in this game, so there's obviously some blowout risk. This line goes to 23.5. It's an auto bet for me. Claxton, I don't want to really attack Claxton stuff, not since AD's going to be a difficult matchup for him. Let me see where my model numbers are. 14 points, 8.6 rebounds, coming in at about 22 PRs. I'm right with market. That makes me feel good. Nothing for Nick Claxton. I guess under the rebounds, but yeah, I just don't want to run it. Nothing for Nick Claxton. I don't know if Sharp would be sharp here or not. Obviously, we'll get the backup 5 minutes. 18 minutes last game. 16 points. Pelicans, Jazz, makes sense. Yeah, but if it's a beat up, I'll lean over right on Sharp's points. Or Dayron, I'm sorry. Dayron Sharp's points. Definitely lean over there. AD, I'm afraid to play, bro. Like, I do think he's playing like 30-plus minutes tonight, though. If you made me bet on AD, I'd probably go PRs over, but it's not like a layup matchup. So I'm completely off of AD. Nothing official for me. Last time I bet on Noah Clowney was November 18th. I remember it. This line closed. I don't know what it closed at. I bet it at 13.5. I think it closed 13.5. And we hooked. I remember it. I can remember it. I was so pissed. My number's 15.75. I lean over again today. If I bet it, he sells it. I promise you, if I bet it, he sells it. Lean over points, Noah Clowney. Let me go look through rebounds. I do lean over his assists as well. I'm closer to 2. So I do lean over here. A little bit of PA lean. Nothing official there. Let's move on to the last game. I know I'm going to at least have one here. Does feel like it's a day where I'll have some late ads. Okay, that's the PA's line. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, I am taking Steph over at FanDuel for 110. Points over points, 110. NBA. We'll get into this more. I don't know if I need to even say a whole lot. Sorry, I got to get this in and get this out, but I'm betting Steph. I got an 08. Yeah, go 08 on 25 plus. Go 08 on 25 plus. Go 08 on 25 plus. Cool. Yeah. Let me add that to the banner. Max Christie over his points, maybe his threes too. I'll circle back at the end. Yeah, so Rudy Gobert will play the drop. They have no other option. Rudy's going to play. They're going to exploit it. Draymond actually gets a lot of assists, I do believe, in these games. A lot of them too. Curry. We can fact check that. He's not questionable, is he? Draymond is out. Oh, personal. What? I miss Draymond being out. It doesn't affect my Curry read though. I also like his threes. I think you can ladder up to 7 here. Again, that game, short minutes. I think you can ladder up to 7 here. If you just look recently, like 5.59, 7.96, like drop coverage, no Draymond means maybe even more aggressive offensively because there's not that, he's not a scorer, but he's a playmaker. Yeah, I like Curry's threes at a little bit of loud. Maybe go 5-6. Maybe you go 7. I like Curry's threes, though. I like Curry's threes. This season, 30 minutes. Let's go 31 minutes. Over 4.5 and 67. Only 6 to 9 games. 5+ and 44%. And you can play, or 6+, and you can play 2-1, 7+. Let's go last 20. Head-to-head, what's the average in attempts? Let's go 9 as a floor. 30%, you can get 4-1. So, yeah, no, I like Curry. I like the ladder look up. I mean, I honestly think 9 might be a floor on the threes. Like, I truly believe that. That's why I'm so strong on his points over. Curry 25+. That one should be pretty easy. No Draymond, so he'll be going up against Post. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want to bet Rudy Gobert over PRs. Can't believe I'm saying this. I want to bet Rudy Gobert over his PRs. Not something I say often, but hold on, let me look into this a little bit more. Rudy Gobert over, huh? We also got Ant questionable, which may not actually benefit him. They don't have to extend out quite as far. Yeah, I would like to know about Anthony Edwards. Is there any Anthony Edwards news? Let me go check Twitter real quick. TJ Watt collapsed lung. Timeline to be determined on his return. TJ Watt collapsed lung through dry needling. I don't know what that means, but that's fucking crazy. Nothing new in the NBA. Is this not an obvious Jimmy assist spot? No Draymond. Jimmy assist makes sense. I want to wait on Ant, but I'm leaning over Gobert PRs. Jimmy assists. No Dre. With Steph. Happened one time. Played 28 minutes, 7, and that was this season. 7 assists, 16 potentials. What are they in assists allowed per game? 9th. Not good, not bad. I think the line is a little high deliberately. And I do still lean over. Oh, you know what? I take that back. I'm really right with market. 5.5. Yeah, I'm just under the 5. What's the price? 5.5 juiced under. I'm right with market here, but it makes sense to me. It's not a modeled edge, but it makes sense to me. I would love 5+ as a lay piece. No, it makes a lot of sense. Let's approach it from a different angle. Let's approach it at 28% usage. Because keep in mind, Kerr likes to, no, it's the right number. It's the right number. I would still lean he goes over, but It's the right number. Kerr likes to, like, Curry's not all going to be off the dribble. Now, don't get me wrong. You get a matchup like this where it's Rudy Gobert. Maybe it is more advantageous to just go. But even then, still, what Steve Kerr would like to do is Jimmy Butler maybe has the ball. They run a guard-to-guard screen with the guards, and then they've got post at the high post. One dribble or pass, pick and roll, one dribble. Jimmy could still technically get that assist, and it's a Rudy Gobert off the drop. So that's the one thing you get with Steve Kerr. You get designed three-point plays. So I like it. I'm spending a lot of time on it. I feel like my model doesn't agree with it, but I like it. The game script makes sense to me. I just think 5.5 might be the right number. I probably would have nuked a 5+ though at a good price. Dante, again, I mean, it'll depend if you get Anthony Edwards or not. Assist price is already outrageous, but I do lean over that 3.5, especially if you got like a Bo Vaughn at 135. Like, I'm pretty interested in that number. This season with Ant 50-50. Without Ant, he's over in 4 of 4 threes as well. And that price isn't bad. Let's talk about Golden State. These teams are tied for 4th in threes allowed is what I have. Both are very good versus the catch and shoot. Interesting. I think Dante DiVincenzo benefits from Anthony Edwards playing more tonight than opposed to him not. Damn, without Ant, though, this line is just a layup. We got a true questionable for Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley out. I like Dante's points. I like Dante's threes. Dante, points, yes. Threes. Model doesn't. Assists it does. Points are the most. Why are we getting 11.5? Maybe it's just the right number. They are good versus catch and shoot. Both teams are good versus catch and shoot. It's just funny. Minnesota's terrible off the pick and roll. What are they versus roll men? I guess. $15th, okay. It is expected to play again this season, okay. Lean over Rudy Gobert's points. Let's talk about Julius Randle a little bit here. 21.5 is his points without Ant, obviously. So that's where I make his points. If I go no Ant, I go to 24.89. I also expect the books to move up to about 23.5. Would massively lean over points and assists. The way the books have their prices set currently makes me think Anthony Edwards is going to go. That's just the way I feel. And if he is going, I don't have anything on Randall. Do we have anything on Ant himself if he does go? I guess you put Jimmy Butler on him, difficult in the pick and roll. I don't like Anthony Edwards so much today. Also, a little bit of an illness scare. That's what it is, right? Oh, it's light. It's leg soreness. Okay. Want to know a little bit more about Ant before I start chucking here. So 3 official plays, but I do want to go back now and talk about a couple other ones. We did play this one. I put Jalen Johnson in a parlay. We never played Cade. We never played Lonzo. We never played Mathurin. Did I play MPJ? Did I play Michael Porter Jr.? I don't think I did. Did the blow off keep me off? Because I really thought I was going to play that this morning. I didn't play it. I don't see it anywhere. FanDuel, no. I've got Curry in there. DraftKings, MGM. No, I don't think I played it. Oh, I remember now. I wanted this to possibly go 23.5. Possibly goes 23.5. It does seem to be trending down, so I will wait on the Michael Porter Jr. Let's circle back to Cade and maybe give props.cash a refresh here. No vig, just went to 130 on that under for Michael Porter Jr. So I think we might get a 23.5. Cade again, Hard Rock, you've got a decent price. What's a double-double for Cade? Minus 115, some 110s out there. I think I'm going to sneeze. Had a double-double in one of the 2 matchups this season. Rebounds were both pretty close. Like I said, I did run like a DGen 8-8, 8-8, 8-8 parlay. Cade, Johnson, Giddey. I think I'll just leave it at that. But I'm not mad at a Cade double-double. Let's talk about Jalen Johnson a little more. I've got 2 bets out on him already, parlay-wise. I've got a 25, 10, and 10 for like a 0.1, and then a 25, 8, and 8 for a 0.25. No, a 28 and 8 for a 0.25. Let's go look at his PRA line, 43.5. Some 42.5 lagging behind. I do lean over the 42.5, but Steph first quarter, not mad at it. Steph every quarter is good. I'm not mad at a Steph first quarter. All right, I think I'm going to call it. How deep are we? We're an hour and 30 minutes in. I am going to call it just 3 officials. Benedict Mathurin. Hold on. Benedict Mathurin. One more. If anything, it's his 3s. Super plus money. Points are trending up as well. I do lean over Benedict as well. Benedict Mathurin, points and 3s. Yeah. Keep an eye out on the timeline for some potential late ads. We do have some injury news we're waiting on. I'll probably have some late ads. I got some leans in the Memphis game. Waiting for Michael Porter Jr. to hopefully move. Only 3 official right now. Probably going to have more as the day goes on. Duncan 3+ 3s. Nickeil Alexander 20+. Steph 25+. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Best of luck tonight. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Till then, man.